so I grew up very silent, with no voice, without knowing how to just voice anything. Hurt, pain, even love. What was that? Because love to me was abuse, right? Love to me was hearing my dad beat my mom, and love to me was my mom going to drugs over us, and love to me was these men buying me things but touching me inappropriately, right? So that's what love looked like to me. It was very abstract. That's what it was to me.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Speak Unspoken. I'm excited about today's episode because I never met a Black Francesca.
Here I am.
Yes. When we got on the phone last week and she kept saying Alisa Francesca. I'm like, Francesca? She was like, yeah, I seen your name, but you spell yours with a K-A. I said, okay. So this is going to be a great interview. Hey, two people with the same name. I'm loving that. So I brought Alisa on the show because she has a real dynamic story. When I listened to her, I heard so many different emotions arise and how she done overcame those and walking in a new light. Alisa, she speaks on different platforms. She is an author. She's a leader in her space. And I'm glad that she was able to come on the show to share her story. I know recently it's been a lot of stories on this platform about different childhood traumas and the way different women were brought up, but me not knowing that this is something that happens a lot, right? And growing up, I really didn't know about stuff like this. I'm just starting to learn stuff like this, honestly, when I moved to Houston, Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Really. And so even with my own friends, I don't even know if they've been through certain things, right? Okay. So today, Alisa is going to talk about her childhood and how she overcame a lot of different things, right? Alisa is a Fifth Ward native.
All day.
She from the Fifth Ward.
From the nickel.
From the nickel. So I'm excited to have her on here, y'all. So without further ado, today I would like to title this episode, Survive and Triumph, When Survival Becomes Your Strength. Alisa had to endure a lot of things, and to God be the glory. He turned her into the woman that he would have for her to be able to just spread the good news on how you can be born in certain environments. But when you just have the power and the will to want more and to do better, you can change your whole life around and you can turn around your family bloodline. So Alisa, let me get relaxed a little bit. Let me get a little relaxed. Okay, because this is a lot, right? And so I would like for you to share with the audience, like, what type of environment you was born into.
All right. So my mom is native of Jacksonville, Florida. My dad is a native of Louisiana. However, my dad was much older than my mom, right? So he kind of migrated throughout the states because he was what they called back then a con man. Okay. I'm not sure what that entailed, but I understood it to be titled a con man. And so he traveled different cities, different states doing these particular cons. Okay. He met my mom in Jacksonville, Florida. She was quite young, and of course he was, again, much older. And she started traveling with him, right? And so they were the real life Bonnie and Clyde. Okay. Right? She stayed in trouble. He stayed in trouble. Therefore, the children that they labored were from every part of the states, right? I was born in Alabama, Birmingham. My brother, younger than me, was born in Atlanta, Georgia. My other sister was born in Houston, Texas. I had another sister born in Jacksonville, Florida. So there were older siblings, older than me, that were born in New York. And so this man was the real life Rolling Stone.
Right. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Yes,
right.
He definitely was. And so because I grew up in such an unstable environment, I was told I was left on my aunt's porch some of the times in Jacksonville because they couldn't take care of me, right? As I got older, I realized my mom wasn't there, my dad was there, then he wasn't there and she was there. So it was a very unstable childhood for me. And so I just had to adapt.
Okay.
I just remember having to adapt, and when you're a child, it's all you can really do, right? You don't know what life is supposed to be like. So you just kind of adapt to what it is in the moment. So that's what it was for me.
Okay, so once you finally got settled in Houston, Texas, how old were you?
So I recall going to elementary school in Houston, Texas. And so that would make me about maybe 4 or 5. I remember being in first kindergarten, first grade. And I remember living on Hardy Street, which is a street out in Fifth Ward, Texas. Now, they don't really like to call Hardy Street Fifth Ward because it's on the outskirts of Fifth Ward. But
okay.
It was termed Fifth Ward, but then we gave it the name Hardy Street.
Okay.
So if you was from Hardy Street, then people would know. You know that Hardy Street is Hardy Street. And so we had a house. My dad's mom left him with a house on Hardy Street. So we were raised there until he gambled it off.
Oh.
And we lost the house. And so things kind of just took a turn in my life from there. Yeah.
So when you say took a turn, what did the turn look like? So it was just you, your mom, your siblings? Like, what was the turn?
So once we lost the house, my dad disappeared. He was invisible. We didn't see him anymore for I don't know how long it was before we seen him again. And so my mom had us. And so she is raising 3 children and with really no support. No financial backing, no education because she didn't finish high school. And so she kind of fell to the environment, right? You know, we all can become products of our environment, right? And so for her, she became that product of the environment. So which left us having to adapt again, and I'm having to be mom to my little brother and my little sister because she was either not home or, had fallen into some type of drug activity. But we had an unstable life from that point, right? Because she couldn't sustain us living in anywhere. So we got evicted quite a few times from various places because she couldn't sustain the life of taking care of us, honestly. And so I don't recall her really ever working, only as a CNA. But I don't think back then it was called a CNA. It was just probably a provider.
Okay.
So that's the only job that I remember my mom having as I was growing up. But it wasn't anything that was substantial enough to take care of three growing children.
Right. So with your mom not being able to fully take care of you guys, like, how did the household lifestyle start to look once you became kind of like the mother of the house?
So I had to cook.
Okay.
I had to make sure that we had food to eat, right? I had to make sure we had clean clothes and make sure that we got up and got ready for school and walked my little sister to school. Me and my brother walked to school. So I had to make sure she got home from school. So I was that person, that mom figure for my siblings because I was all that they had at the time. So so a lot of my life was, of course, taken from me. Childhood was taken from me because I had to be a mom really early with my siblings. Again, adaptation is real.
Right.
And so when you have to adapt, you learn resilience early in life.
Right.
Right. And that you just learn it. It kind of becomes a natural instinct.
Right.
For you as you're growing up in these type of environments and you kind of seeing you have nobody. And so you do your self evaluation and you self reflect and you say, hey, this is what I got to do.
So that's when survival mode kicks in.
That's when survival mode kicks in.
Okay.
That's definitely when survival mode kicks in because I got to make sure that they get fed. I got to make sure we get fed. I got to make sure that we have to get to school. I got to make sure that nobody's bullying my brother. I remember getting into fights because of my brother. Like, people would try to fight him because he was quiet. I'm like, nah, we ain't doing that.
Right.
So I was the fighter. I'm like, nah, you can come. We can square up, but you ain't finna back my brother.
So, right, so at the age where you should have been protected, you became the protector.
The protector.
So once you discovered that your mom was had a drug addiction and different things like that, and you had to become the mother of the house, what did survival look like for you? Like, how did you get money to take care of you and your siblings? Like, what did that look like?
So, my mom, of course, when the 80s came, when we got to the 80s, of course, she fell into that whole, environment of drugs, right? That's when crack cocaine hit the scene, and everybody from Fifth Ward. But I don't know too many people that were not affected by a household that were not affected by crack cocaine back then. And so my household was no different. And so, how did we get money? She would give it, but we had to get it when she had it, right? I remember Christmases. We didn't have Christmases. I remember, I can't tell you a Christmas that we had with my mom. I can tell you one birthday that I had with my mom, but that was it, right? But she would give us money for school clothes at the beginning of the year, but it was a very little amount. I remember getting a lot of hand-me-downs from individuals, and I would make them look. I would starch them real nice. That was starch was back in the day. I would starch them up real good and, make them look like they were neat, right? But they were really hand-me-downs. Food, of course, she got food stamps, and I remember I don't know if you remember the little paper books. So we had paper book food stamps. So back then, I wasn't selling them as much as what they began to do early in this trend. But so we would buy groceries with that, and sometimes we wouldn't. And I would have to go get food from people's houses. Well, particularly, I would have to go get food from houses that I knew that had it, and we didn't. And so, but I had to ensure that we had food. Yeah. So, and I would, if she bought chicken, I would cook it, or we had to, I remember making sugar toast with bread and sugar and butter. I remember making that as one of our breakfast items. But we mostly had to eat at school.
Really?
At school, and if we had it at home, then it lasted until it lasted, and then that was it.
So as life kept going, can you take the audience down your life for when your mom began to date a particular man, and when he would come home, he would ask for you? Yes. And from that, what did that lead to in other areas of your life?
So this was the same time that she got introduced to crack, right? Okay. And so she was dating she was dating a man, right? And he would get drunk. Okay. He would be intoxicated. And so he would come home, and we had like a 1-bedroom, I'm not gonna say it was a garage apartment, but it was a building built in the back of a house. Okay. So it was kind of like a garage apartment, but it wasn't. I guess and it was 1, 2, I think it was like 3, maybe 3 units. Because the top unit was an older man. Okay. And then we had the bottom, and there was somebody above us on the right hand side. So, he would come home, and he would go to the window and where we were sleeping at, and ask for me to come and open the door for him. Only me. My mom would suggest, I'm gonna get up, I'm coming. He would say, my childhood name was Francine. Okay. And so he would say, no, get up, Francine, and come open the door. Well, me opening the door, I never came back to the room. Nobody ever came, my mom never came to look for me. And because I think she may have just been scared of him, right? Because he was drunk and probably belligerent as a drinker. However, he was trying to penetrate me in the living room of our home. Yeah. And so I guess I wasn't quiet enough. Okay. So he would stop. But that happened a few times. I can count maybe about 2 to 3 times that it happened, and no one ever came to save me.
Man.
No one ever came to look for me and say, what are you doing? Where is she? He never even went back to the room. So I just think that she was dealing with a lot of and he was probably paying the bills.
Okay.
Right? Because she wasn't working.
Right.
And so he was probably paying the bills. So she was probably just saying it's nothing going on. You know, to herself. Maybe just in denial about the situation.
Right.
Right? And so I never told her about what happened. But I just felt like it had been other instances where I couldn't tell you about it either. So I just learned how to silence my voice because.
So when you say silence your voice, right? What ways was your voice loud though? Was it in your actions? Like what type of young lady did you become?
To be honest with you, I wanted to become gay. Transparency moment.
Okay.
But I wanted to become, I thought that would make me nobody want to touch me ever again.
Okay.
And I was like, if I just make myself like wear baggy clothes, and I don't want to say gay because there wasn't a thing back in the 80s, but I would say I wanted to make myself like disappear. Right? So I started wearing big clothes and just to make myself not be seen. And so I think I just shied away. It made me very like standoffish. It made me very where I was in the shadows a lot. So I didn't do a lot of speaking, and I didn't want to be seen, and I didn't want to be heard. I just wanted to just act like nobody ever seen me.
Oh, wow.
And so I went through that for a long time. And I remember when I moved to Florida, we'll talk about that a little later. I remember my aunt saying to me when I got to Florida, you can't come in here with those clothes on. Because I was looking like a straight boy.
Right.
She was like, no, we ain't doing that.
Right.
And so she was the angel for me that turned my whole life around. So I definitely have been indebted to her for a very long time. And when she passed away, rest her soul, I let her know how thankful I was that she changed my life.
Yeah.
She believed in me, right? And so I just wanted to disappear. I didn't want nobody to see me. I didn't want nobody to talk. I just wanted to just be invisible. So I grew up very silent with no voice, without knowing how to just voice anything. Hurt, pain, even love. What was that?
What was love?
Because love to me was abuse. Right? Love to me was seeing my dad beat my mom, and love to me was my mom going to drugs over us, and love to me was these men buying me things but touching me inappropriately, right? So that's what love looked like to me. It was very abstract, right? And so that's what it was to me.
Yeah. So let's talk about you going to Florida and then the transition back, because you had to come back.
I did.
Right.
So I went to Florida because my mom was in rehab. We were living with a family at the time, and it was an influx of individuals in this particular household. And so I guess she just got the lady, her name, another one of my angels. She took us in. She didn't have to. Deborah and Lonnie, both of them took me, my sister, and my brother in, and I guess she just got tired, right?
Yeah.
Taking care of all these people and receiving no help. So I didn't get it at the time, but as I grew up, that was a lot on just her and her family, right? Because she had kids too. And so she got fed up one day and said, your dad needs to come get y'all. So we had to call him to come get us. Again, remember, he's a con man. He's in the street. He ain't trying to raise no families. Right? So we would have been a hindrance for him. So he gassed up the car and drove us to Jacksonville, Florida, and took us to my aunt and left us and said, I can't. I'll be back.
Was it ever a time where you ever felt like, dang, nobody wants me?
All the time.
All the time?
Whole life. Whole life. There's no stability.
Right.
That you're not experiencing what love feels like. You're not experiencing what protective capacity feels like. Because it just feel like you are an open door.
Right.
Right? So there's nobody there to save us. Nobody there to pick us up. Right? Not for real, right? So, yeah, you feel like that all the time. You always feel abandoned. You always feel like, but as a kid, again, you're not making sense of any of this.
Right.
Because you don't have that type of
vocabulary and understanding.
Yeah. So you just go, life for you as a kid is, I'm going to just go with the flow.
Right.
Think about children who get abused. They still want to go back to their moms, right?
Yeah.
Their mom can beat them too. They turn blue and red.
Yes.
They can come and get them, and they still say, I want to go home to mama.
Yeah. I used to tell my mom this. My sister been on heroin, I guess, for 30 years.
Okay.
Right? She started at like 17. She has 3 boys. And it was a time where my mom had to get them because CPS was going to take them. And so she raised them, and at that time we were old enough to work, so we helped raise them as well. And I used to always tell my mom, it don't matter what you do for them, it's still not the same love from their mama.
That's right.
And she used to be going crazy, like, I do this, I do that. And I'm like, Mama, once you realize that, it's nothing like a mother's love. And I know people say a mother love is gentle, a mother love is kind, but sometimes that's not every kid's story. A mother love for them is abandonment, but it don't matter, because as long as I get to see my mama, as long as I get to touch my mama, I don't care if my mama is walking the streets of South Side or whatever. That's my mama. I love my mama.
Yeah.
And some boys, they will be a certain way about their mama, but honestly, my nephews, they love my sister.
Yeah.
I don't care what go on.
Yeah.
They wrong with their mama.
So you just, again, the understanding is she's still mom.
Yeah.
Right? And so adaptability. You just adapt, right? To circumstances, and you just become, everything just feels so familiar.
Right.
And so that's what we get accustomed to.
Right.
And we don't know what norms are at that age. We don't know what norms look like at that age when we're kids.
Right.
So should we, and when I grew up in Fifth Ward and off Hardy Street, everybody was doing the same thing. Right? Everybody mama was out there on drugs. Everybody mama, daddy was probably absent. Everybody homes were broken, and everybody was doing everything. And, I would see promiscuous, but I would see my friends started having babies.
Right.
And I'm just like, so that was normal for me to see all the drugs. Like, not only is my mom on drugs, I know the people who sell them to her. Right. So all those things in life for me became norm.
Right.
So I know I had to get out of there.
Right.
I know I couldn't be a victim of that. I couldn't.
Right.
I know I had to get out of there. I didn't know how.
Yeah.
I didn't have a plan.
But you just knew.
But I knew.
Right.
This is not the way I'm going to live the rest of my life.
So once you realized being in Fifth Ward was not you, and that was not the end game for Francesca, right? Where did you migrate to after that?
So at this time, remember I was in Florida. So I came back from Florida. I was pregnant.
Okay.
With 17 years old, I'm pregnant.
Okay.
I went back to my dad. He said, you can't stay here. Right? Because I can't raise no baby. You might as well go ahead and marry the guy, because they family look pretty wealthy. You might as well go and marry him. I'm 17, Dad. You think I'm gonna marry the dude? Like, yeah, I made a mistake, but it happened, and I'm not marrying the guy, right? And at that time, my aunt was like, she can't come back here. Right? And so ended up coming back to Houston. My dad told me I couldn't stay there. I wanted to live with my brother. And I got back in school. I remember going to high school pregnant. Then we had our own little special bus and our special classes and all those type of things. And so I ended up having to go leave his house because his family was a priority for him. And so I needed to.
Wait a minute, hold on. Who family?
My brother's family was a priority.
Okay.
And so when I moved back in, when I came to stay with him, they were gone. They had separated. And so they were trying to rekindle. But in order for that to happen, I needed to leave. That was part of the agreement. And so, again, nobody's. I have nothing. I have no support. So it was just another one of them trials that I had to go through. Like, here we go again, right? And so he ended up went back to fifth ward with my daughter. And I said, I can't stay here. At this time, my mom was in rehab and getting ready to be released and they were going to find her an apartment.
Okay.
So she was like, just hold on. I'm going to be out of here and y'all can come and stay with me and it'll be okay. So I think we waited about a month or two. And so she was released from the rehab and they gave her an apartment out in Third Ward.
Okay.
And so that was my escape.
Okay.
I got out of Fifth Ward. Don't get me wrong, I'm never going to forget where I came from and how I was reared and the lessons that I learned and didn't learn while I was in Fifth Ward. But I needed a way out.
Right.
I needed a way out. And my mom did not need to go back to Fifth Ward. If she would have went to Fifth Ward, she would have just been recycling.
Yeah, because it's definitely generational in Fifth Ward because I serve every week with New Direction Community Church, and they feed about 200 people every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday a hot meal.
Okay.
And even with me being out there every week, I see it's generational.
Yes.
Like you see the grandma, the daughter, the granddaughter, the great-granddaughter, like everybody's in line. And then the thing is the incompetency of not knowing how to read and write and different things like that. Like you would be surprised at that age. Some people, they know their name, but unless they looking at their ID, they don't even know how to spell it. You know, and that took me like by surprise. When I first started going out there. And it's so crazy. Prior to me living in Houston, I used to be like, I'm from the hood. Once I really started seeing what the hood is, I'm not from the hood.
Right. I ain't built for this. Right.
I'm not.
I'm not built for it. Right. So I was like, I'm not raising my kid out here in the environment that I had to survive
in.
I had to survive. Do you know how hard it was growing up out with no support?
Right.
It was hard. Right. So I wasn't raising my kid in that. I wasn't recycling that type of childhood, a livelihood for my child. And I knew that I needed to. The only way that I was going to want better for myself was to leave.
Right.
So when my mom got the apartment in Third Ward, we went to go live with her. And then I started my life.
Yeah.
I got my GED, right? From there, it was like, what's next for me? I did this. Oh my God, I did it.
Right.
I did it. I started setting other goals for myself. And like, if I did that, I got my GED without going to any classes.
Oh, wow.
I signed up for the test. I said, I'm not taking the classes. I'm going to just try to take the test.
But the thing is, you was educated, right? You was just being misplaced. You was going to school. You was doing all these things because you was a junior or senior when you dropped out or whatever. So.
Yes. And so, went and took the test and passed it.
Right.
I remember that was my birthday gift to myself.
Okay.
I passed it in October of 2000, and my daughter was she was born in 2005. In 2005, in October, I passed my GED. That was the best day of my life.
Amen.
I was like, I did it.
Yeah.
So I just continued to set goals for myself and not let anybody else define my destination.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you told me you did that. You went to beauty school and different things like that. So I want you to talk about when you thought you found love and what did that love look like during that time?
Whew, well, let's talk about it. Remember, I don't know what love is.
I know.
Right? So
that's why I want you to talk about it.
I'm still trying to figure that part out. I'm still trying to figure that out because at this point I'm 18 with a baby, right? Living with my mom in Third Ward in beauty school, Franklin Beauty School, as a matter of fact. Giving their props because they still around. So they still here. And so going to school, had met my middle daughter's father. And it wasn't love. It was more so he was older than me. It was more so he provided for me and my girls, because I got, my middle daughter was coming and it came into play. He took responsibility of my oldest daughter, right? My oldest daughter grew up as him being her
daddy,
father, right? And so here is my middle daughter. So now here I am 2021 with two daughters and living with a man who is, I thought I knew that but again, I don't know if it's love. I'm just thinking I'm here. Like, this is, again, I'm adapting to the environment. He's taking care of me. We have a place to live. I'm not homeless. My children are taken care of. I'm still in school, right? And so that turned into an emotional roller coaster for me, right? Because he took my vulnerabilities, he took my weaknesses, and drew down on it. Even more so, made me. When a man takes your self-esteem, you can beat me up. I'm just saying you can't beat me up.
Not literally.
Not literally,
right?
But I'd rather have that abuse over emotional abuse,
right?
Because when a man takes something that you are building for yourself, you never had self-esteem. You never knew what that looked like. People, you never knew what that looked like with self-esteem. What was that, right? And so, you have this man who tells you ain't gonna be nothing, right? Or you ain't gonna be nothing without me, or you ain't nothing. And who is controlling you from the phone. He would call me at night while he's at work and hold the phone, and you can't
talk to nobody.
Yeah, wow. I couldn't talk to nobody. I couldn't go nowhere. Couldn't have a cell phone. We found out I was going to a person's house in an apartment that I had a phone. That was a problem. So, but again, at 2021, you're like, what am I doing? What is going on? Like, is this what it's supposed to be?
Right.
Is this the way this is going to always be?
Because you never seen an example of it. So you didn't even know that there was not even a good place to be in.
No.
Right.
But you do. You kind of, you do. Because you feel it, right? You can feel it. You know it because you know it. You're very familiar with pain,
right?
Right. And that don't feel good,
right?
Pain does not feel good, right? Hurt does not feel good. So these are feelings that are starting to come back, and it's like, yeah, this ain't healthy. Like, this is not. I came from that,
right?
I'm trying to get out of that. I don't want to go back there. So what I gotta do, right? I ain't know how to pray. I remember writing Betty Wright's song. I remember writing her song down. God is gonna bless me for all time you treated me wrong, and I kept loving you. I remember that was my strength. I kept writing those words down because I didn't know how to pray, but I knew God. I knew Him. I just didn't know what to say to Him to get me out the situation that I was in.
Oh, wow.
And so her song became my strength to get the hell out of there. Right? And so I eventually left. With my daughter was almost 2, middle was almost 2, the oldest one was 3. And that was a fight to get out of there. Right? It was a fight. But I left. I remember getting a job at Kmart making very little amount of money. But I left.
But you was at peace.
And I was at peace.
Yeah.
And so that was another goal that I set for myself. I gotta go.
Yeah.
So when I realized that setting goals, I can reach them, the sky was the limit.
Okay.
When you can set a goal and achieve it, and you have that flutter in your stomach that says, I did that, you can go anywhere you want to go in life.
Amen. Y'all heard that?
Yeah. You can go anywhere you want to go.
Sky's is the limit.
The sky's the limit.
Once you have a made up mind.
Once you have made up mind. And you pursuing your happiness. Because at this point, I'm on a pursuit of happiness. I'm trying to figure life out.
Right.
Because so much was taken from me or neglected from me. I'm trying to figure out, how do I get to a better place? Right? And so, yeah, the sky was the limit. I realized them goals can be I can stomp these goals. Even finishing beauty school, killed it. You know? So that was another goal that I accomplished.
But that's the thing, though. I know you were singing Betty Wright to help you get through that time in life, right? But God had already equipped you for everything that you needed along the path, right? But the thing is, like, a lot of times when we don't take our children to church and, you know, just teach them different biblical things, they feel like they don't have it, but it's already embedded in you from the womb. Yeah. Because God already knew what you needed to survive through every channel of your life.
He's been with me every step of the way. He's been with me every step of the way. When I don't understand something, or when something just, I always go right back to my closet. You know, he's never, I mean, I've been through life because I wouldn't listen. Like, when you don't listen,
disobedient.
When you don't listen and when you disobedient, he gonna handle you.
Yeah,
right.
Good.
He gonna handle you with grace, but he gonna handle you, and you gonna have to realize that he's not doing it out of because he wants to hurt you. He wants you to do it. He's doing it because he needs you to listen. Right. He needs you to be directional. Right. And so when you realize that, again, you're at another plateau, right? At that point, right? So, yeah.
So once you left your kid's father, you went to go do it on your own. You realized, like, this not as easy as I think it is.
Right.
So what did that look like?
I lost my apartment.
Okay.
Because again, I'm working at Kmart.
Right.
And I'm going to school, so I can't work full time because I'm still in beauty school. Lost my apartment. I knew I didn't have anywhere to go because my mom was living with me. Yeah. So we all, at that point, became homeless. Right? So I knew that I was going to be migrating around, didn't know where, but I knew I was going to be migrating to a couple places until
you figured it out.
I figured it out, right? And so for me, I needed my kids to be stable. Because again, remember, I didn't have that, right? And so I did not want my kids to experience instability, right? Because he was stable. I left him, but he was still stable.
So let me ask you this. He was very mean to you, but how was he with the girls?
He was better. I mean, again, he probably got most of his teachings from his mother. Okay. Because his mother had them a lot. Okay. His mother helped him raise them. When I wasn't around them those 2 years, his mom was another angel, right? Okay. Rest her heart, rest her soul. She's she passed away last year, but she was an angel. Okay. She helped him tremendously with the girls. When he worked at night, he would drop the girls off with her. And she would watch him overnight while he worked. Okay. And then he would get up in the morning, go home, take him to school or whatever. And so he was stable. Okay. Right. I just wouldn't. And I was refusing to go back to that. Right. Right. Because that was an option. Yeah. Come on back. Nah, bro. Yeah. Nah, bro. I ain't going back. Yeah. I ain't coming back.
Yeah, because once you free from something, when you return back to your own vomit, it's going to be 10 times worse.
Man, listen. Right. Listen. And I would try to go see the girls, or I would, want to take them to a doctor's appointment and stuff. He would make me want to try to have sex with him. He would make me, I would have to, it was at a cost.
How did that make you feel to know, I got to have sex with this man to go see my kids?
Control. But at this time in my life, what can I do? Right? I wasn't doing it, so I wouldn't see them because I wasn't going over there to do that. Right. Right? So he would eventually say, just come do that here. And I would have to give up anything, right?
But that's crazy for somebody to try to have that much control over not only your mind, but your body. Yeah. The only way you can see the kids is if you do this. Yes. Wow. Yeah. And the thing is, I tell people, you got to understand when you have kids, you got to remember, how would this make me feel if somebody did my baby like this? it won't feel so good. You know?
You know, but God will handle him differently. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that wasn't my fight. That wasn't my battle to fight. Right. I just needed to make sure that my kids understood that I was there. And in the midst of all that, he told them that I've abandoned them.
Right.
You know, he didn't tell them that he wouldn't let me see them, or he would, you know, he told my kids grew up with the understanding that I abandoned them. So can you imagine once I got myself together and got the kids back and how that was for me?
Very challenging.
That was very challenging for me to raise children who had been brainwashed.
Right. To think mama don't love me. Mama left me. Mama doing her own thing.
Yeah. Not understanding the pattern.
But you know what? Yes, I was going to say that. The patterns of being unprotected.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it started from your mama. It passed down to you, then to the girls. So it's like I tell people all the time, boy, if you just go back to the generations. Even when I did a generational bloodline, when I was in my mentorship program, it was so many things that my dad told me about my grandparents. Grandparents. I was like, whoa. I see why I'm so jacked up. And when I mean jacked up, I mean a high level of infidelity runs through the bloodline like no other. Like people like my grandparents that was successful, they owned land and all this stuff. But my grandmother, her mama, my papa, everybody indulged in infidelity. They were cheaters.
That was the thing back in the day. It was it's still a thing, right? But when our grandmothers and grandfather did, it was norm. It was normalized, right? And grandmother couldn't say anything to grandfather when he didn't come home at night.
Yeah, but my grandmother was a cheater.
Like you start seeing, how can I break these cycles?
Yes, cycles,
right? Because there are cycles. How can I break these cycles? Even with my life, I knew I needed to break the cycles within my life. You know, my mom not have nowhere to stay. We be unstable, protective parent. My kids could not go over nobody's house if they had a man in the house. Do you got a brother? Do he got a daddy? Do he got a stepdad? Do he got an uncle? They live there? No, you can tell your friend to come over my house.
Right.
Because the only way that I could protect my kids was to make sure that they were under my roof.
Right.
And I didn't want to have to,
them to experience anything like that.
Them to endure what I had to endure with not being protected.
Right.
And so I shielded them. They didn't understand it when they were little.
Right.
But they understand it now. Right. And I'm the same way now with my granddaughter. Ain't nobody finna you go over who house.
Yeah.
No, we ain't. No, they can come over here. Right. I need to make sure that I'm making sure that I maintain that protective capacity.
Right. And so you go finish school, you get the kids back, and now life is moving forward. You start working at the hospitals, correct?
So I got my girls back. It got stable. Got my girls back. Not the court, but I said, hey, I went and withdrew them from school. That he had them in. I was with my ex-husband at the time, and who supported me through this process, right? And we went and withdrew him from school. We went and put him in a school that was near our house. I upped his child support. Like I took my power back. I took it back because you had it for so long. But I knew that what God had for me was for me. And so a prophet told me, you're going to get them back.
Amen.
She told me, she was like, Miss Times. I'll never forget Miss Times. Miss Times told me, you're going to get your kids back.
That's good.
And so because she told me that, I fought to make sure that I was doing what I needed to do on my end.
To get them back.
To get them back and ensure that they were going to continue to be stable.
Right.
And so at this time, I'm maybe 25.
Okay.
And with my ex-husband, and I'm in TSU.
Okay.
At this time before I went to TSU, I did my certificate in medical assisting, because again, that was one of my goals. And I'm still goal oriented, knocking these goals down, because I know that, I gotta do better. I want more for them. I want more for me. And so I got in medical assistant school. At this time, my brother gets killed. Set me back. Mentally, emotionally. He was all I had. We were all that we had.
Yeah.
And so they set me back. Oh, it set me back.
Yeah.
Went on antidepressants. Stopped going to school. Sent me back, right? And so I had to pull out of it. I pulled out of it because I knew I had to keep going, right? And so about a couple months later, I got back in medical assistant school. I finished, started working in the hospitals, started working in clinics, various clinics doing medical assisting, and then did that for a little while and decided, met this young lady, her name was Tony, and she said, why don't you go to college? I said,
College?
I'm too old for college. Isn't that for the young people? I mean, I'm still thinking I'm a little older. I'm 25, 20. I'm like, college? What is that?
Mm-hmm.
And so at this time, she's finishing from TSU.
Okay.
And so
there was another angel.
Another angel.
Okay. There we go.
Another angel. God dropped them in your life.
Yeah.
So at certain seasons in your life, he drops them, right? And so here she is saying to me, you need to get in college. Before I leave, because she's going back to California, before I leave and go back to California, I'm going to help you get in college. She helped me enroll. She helped me set my classes up. She made sure that I was okay. And it was on from there. It was on, right? Started working, started going into TSU 2002. I remember.
Okay.
Scared, like, oh my God, all these people.
Yeah.
I'm so old. Like
I went to TSU in 04. Okay, you went in 02.
02.
Okay.
I started in 02. And so here I am with 2 kids, and at this point, I'm not married, but I'm with my ex-husband.
Okay.
And so I migrated through TSU. While I was working at TSU, I fell out of the medical field and went into working in the financial institution. I started working at a bank because it allowed me part-time hours, because medical wasn't allowing you part-time hours at the time. So I worked at a bank part-time while I was with him, and he helped me, he supported me the entire time through my college. I remember getting pregnant my last semester in college.
Okay.
And I was like, Lord, am I going to finish this? I did.
Right.
I did finish college. A year later, I further finished in 06. I finished in 07. Okay, it's okay. I finished college. I joined the American College of Healthcare Executives. I was the president of the student body. So that was a big deal for me, because I'm like, people didn't trust me to be their president.
Yes.
I was like, that was a big deal too, because like now I can see myself evolving. I could see it when I turned, when I finished my GED and all these, but when you start seeing the fruit of your labor, you just like, it's like you step outside your body for a minute, and you just like, I really am doing things and they matter. I really am changing my life so I can make my children's lives better, right? Or make people's lives better, right? I'm still not in tune with my life. I've left my 5th ward behind and forgot all about the trials and tribulations that I endured then, and I'm not touching on that pain. Okay. So I know that pain was always suppressed from me, right? And so it wasn't until I got back to TSU, I graduated and I went back for my master's, and it wasn't until then my master's is in counseling. Okay. How can I counsel somebody?
Oh, you better say it. Go on and say it. Go on and say it. Please go on and say it.
Counsel somebody when you ain't healed.
Say it one more time.
How can you counsel someone?
Okay.
If you're not healed.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Right?
Right.
So
the world needed to know that. Because everybody have all this advice and they suffering too.
These life coaches and you cannot effectively give guidance to someone if you're not healed. Wow. From your own transgressions. And so at that time, my counselor, when I was a counselor, she said, we all need counselors. She made all of us find a counselor. Right. The teacher. She said, we all need counselors.
So you had to.
I had to get into counseling. I had to deal with those feelings.
You had to deal with you.
Whew, I had to deal with me.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Woo, the storm it was. I had to
Wow.
deal with the child that I left on Horty Street.
Yeah.
Because I left her.
Yeah.
I thought I left her, but she was still there.
Yeah. Oof.
And so counseling, we reintroduced ourselves. We were reintroduced doing counseling. And so it's imperative that you do the work, right? And I thank God that I got into the counseling program, because I probably would have still been unhealed. And to this day, right? Relationships being affected, right? Because that stuff affects your relationships, whether they work related, personal related, mom, dad, sister, daughter, brother. If you're not healed, those things affect your relationships on every level. And so that was very important for me to when I was doing the program, that I continued counseling.
Right.
And so I'm still counseling.
Yeah.
Because I'm still dealing with things.
Yeah.
Right. So I've learned how to manage. You learn how to manage. As a kid, I had to learn how to manage, right? Adapt, right? But I had to deal with that 6-year-old and that 9-year-old and that 10-year-old and that 12-year-old. We had to have a come to Jesus meeting.
Man.
We all at the table. You sit here, you sit here, we gonna all talk.
Girl, you got me sitting up in my seat, because like, people don't understand like how critical that really is. Like, when I started the Speak Unspoken, is because I was the unspoken. So everything that I do, the 8-year-old girl will show up, right? And it's like, friend, she is controlling your life.
She's controlling your life. Absolutely. And you don't even know how. You just know that every time you have an argument, that 8-year-old shows up. And you shut down.
Yeah. Quick.
Or have a temper tantrum.
I don't have a temper tantrum.
Or withdraw.
I just shut down. Yes.
We that's what happens.
Yes.
Because who listens to us? Who cares, right? So we just shut down.
Wow.
In our marriages, we shut down. Instead of dealing with conflict and learning how to problem resolve, we shut down.
So you stated ex-husband. How did he become your ex-husband, and you was going through this program and you was learning you?
So he became my ex-husband because of mistakes that I made, right? And I think that we were in two different places in our lives where they say opposites attract. Sometimes they may do, right? But our opposites didn't attract.
Okay.
And it may have just been, again, I wasn't healed. Right? So I was still fighting against things that I thought that I needed to fight against. Right? And so I just wanted out. Right? I wanted out because I felt like, I don't know, I just felt like I didn't want to be a wife at that point. I didn't know how to be a wife. I didn't want to be a wife. And I probably wanted, let me just take that back. I wanted to be a wife. I didn't know how to be a wife.
Okay.
I'm still learning how to be a mother. Right? And because I didn't know how to be a wife, I did some things that I know I shouldn't have done.
Okay.
Right? And so that caused the demise of my marriage.
Okay.
And I had a son out of it, though. We ended up having a son. And so, life takes its turns.
Right.
And so that part of life for me, people, what you got to understand is there's seasons we go through in life, right? And when people come into our life for these seasons, we got to understand why. Right? And for me, when I was going through that season and at that time, he was very supportive. Right? Because remember, I didn't have nobody growing up, right? So I attached myself to people who were going to provide security.
You better say it again. You end up with people that you would, if you wasn't in survival mode, that wouldn't even been your choice.
Got it.
Yeah.
So survival mode has a way with you, has a way with your life, right?
Yes.
So I attached myself to people that provided the security that I needed, right? And so when I graduated, I said, I don't need it no more. Because now I got my degree. I'm stable. I'm not stable, but I got my degree. I can get a job. I can, I don't need the marriage anymore. I don't know how to be a wife. Right? I do a lot of stuff wrong. Right? And so,
hold on, let me ask you this. You say you was doing a lot of stuff wrong, but even during the things that was wrong, was he the kind of husband that could see it and try to help you navigate through it, or he didn't even know how to support you in that space?
He didn't know how to support me in that space. We were both young and married, right? And so his father left his mom divorced, right? So I don't think he ever grew up to see how, right? All he grew up to know was he needed to be the man of the house.
Yeah, and to provide.
Right? And so that transitioned over into our marriage. So he wasn't keen on emotions and feelings and he wasn't keen on that. But I don't fault him for that because we were both 25, 26. Yeah. Well, I think we got married, we was like 26, 27. I didn't know.
Right.
So how could I ask for help when I didn't know what help I needed? Because this is still doing undergrad.
Yeah.
I hadn't got to my master's yet to understand the dynamics of counseling.
Okay, so this is before, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I got to my master's program, he and I separated.
Okay.
Right? I started my master's program in 2009.
Okay.
We separated in 2009.
Oh.
And so that was another reason I went back for my master's, because I needed the financial support.
Okay.
Because we were getting loans back then. They were giving out a nice little
grip, yeah.
Amount if you were independent and you had children and you were in school. So I survived because I took out those loans. And now I'm just like, oh gosh, right? Because now they kicking my butt. Not really, but not literally, but now it's just like, oh, I could have did without, right?
So let me ask you this real quick. If you could do, I know we didn't come here to talk about that, but I just want to ask for, for the sake of the audience, maybe somebody's listening.
Okay.
If you could do your marriage all over again at the woman you are right now, the woman you become, the woman it doesn't evolve to, would you do it again?
So would I do marriage again? Absolutely.
Okay.
Because I walk in the spirit right now that I'm a wife.
Okay.
And if you're walking in it, it's gonna happen. Because again, I'm a goal setter.
So when did you become into the knowledge that you were a wife? Because you left that situation because you feel like you wasn't.
Yeah.
So when did you realize, Francesca, you're a wife?
This dating scene out here.
Okay.
And once I learned me.
Okay.
Once I learned the value and the worth of me, and I had so much to give another person.
Okay.
And I'm just over the dating shenanigans out here in these Houston streets. Well, not even Houston, the streets, period, right? So I'm just like, this ain't for me. God got something for me. He has a husband for me. I don't know where he at.
Right. He's coming.
But God got a husband for me, and he's preparing me for him, and him for me. And I gotta walk in it. And if I don't walk in, I'm a wife right now. When it happens, I'm a do it again. Oh, I ain't ready. Right? So if I don't mentally prepare, situationally prepare,
okay,
right, then I'm not gonna be ready.
Right.
So I walk in it every day.
Okay.
By my actions, by the words, by how I pour in to individuals, what I'm pouring back out into the communities. I walk in it.
Okay.
So I don't walk in on my girlfriend status.
Okay.
I'm not.
What's that?
What's that?
Okay.
I don't walk in it. I'm gonna walk in there for a little while, and then we're gonna have to have some conversation.
Right.
Some other things gonna have to be done. Right.
Because he who finds a wife, right,
finds a good thing, and I know I'm a good thing.
Okay.
Now I can say that, right? Because I've done the work.
Yes.
I've done the work.
Yes.
And I'm still doing the work. I'm still in counseling. I'm still doing the work.
Yeah.
I'm still growing, right? Still reading books, self-development, self-help books, and you still talking to married people about how y'all married so long, right?
Yeah.
You still have married friends that I admire and
amen. That's good.
So I'm still doing the work, but I give myself, I walk in the I'm a wife title.
Okay. So you left the situation and you navigated, you finished school or whatever. And so now what was meant to break you build you, right?
Everything in life.
And so God prepared you for the role that you're in today, right?
Yes.
Because you're shaping leaders.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And you're shaping leaders in your own space, and you on platforms, and you on all these different things, talking about your stories, talking about your life. So what the enemy meant for evil, God meant it for your good, right?
Absolutely.
And so it took navigating through all these paths in life, you know?
Yes.
To fully come into what God had already planned, right?
Yeah.
But you know, it's so crazy. I'd be like, God, why you be doing us like that? But he'd be like, I got to.
He has to.
Because if I hand it to you on the platter, you're going to cut up.
You're going to cut up. You ain't going to appreciate it. He has got to take us through those trials. And it don't be for long, right? But he got to take us through it. I always tell people, you got to go through it to get through it.
Right.
You got to go through it. Because it's a test in that storm.
So what does being in leadership look like for you?
So I'm going to just speak on leadership, not as in my current role, my occupational role, but I'm going to speak on leadership in terms of every day. Okay. Right? There's a light that you turn on when you walk outside, right? People see you. You sharing your story, right? You're pouring into individuals. You are inspiring individuals. You are empowering individuals, right? That's leadership.
Okay.
Right? You're motivating individuals. Because think about it. When you have a manager at work, what makes them a good manager? They're supportive, right? They help you with your goals.
Right.
They motivate you. They empower you. They inspire you. They do all these things. And that's what leadership looks like.
Okay.
Right? It doesn't look like I'm becking orders at you.
Right.
Right? I need to know you.
Right.
I need to know your how I can pour into you. Right? Because if I don't know those things, then how can I help shape you?
Right.
Because leadership is about shaping not just me, but shaping people that lives who you are affecting.
Right.
Right? If I can't touch lives and transform lives, what kind of leader am I?
Right. You're right.
Right? Think about Malcolm X and then MLK. They did something they nobody thought that they would ever do. They took a risk.
Right.
Right? And as leaders, they took those risks. And that's what leadership is. You taking risks. Right. Everybody ain't gonna always be okay with what you do and what you do and how you do it. Right? And who you do it with. But leadership says you take the risk.
Right.
Right? Because there's a higher, something is higher, something is in it for you. Not just for you, but for somebody. Right? Because what I've learned in life is what we go through in life, it's not for us.
Right. That's good.
We go through what we go through in life to teach and help someone else.
Right.
And that's what leadership looks like.
Right. So what does life look like for Miss Francesca right now?
Miss Francesca is raising a 5-year-old.
Okay.
Miss Francesca is pursuing, continuing to pursue goals for myself. Trying to talk myself out of doing this doctoral program, but we'll see about that. Just right now for me, reaching more platforms.
Okay.
So I would like to do that. Reach more platforms. Write some more books.
Okay.
1 or 2 more books. I'd actually like to do a videography of my life.
Okay.
Through storytelling.
Okay.
So that's one of my goals for myself. But just raising my kids, right? My son and my supporting my daughter through her as she transitions through HCC, and my son is starting, and then my granddaughter is 5. I acquired a 5-year granddaughter because I lost my daughter. Okay. My oldest daughter was killed 5 years ago. Yes, and so remember we talked about how I was young and I couldn't take care of my kids. Yeah. And I didn't have the financial capacity or I didn't know how to be a mom.
Right.
I wasn't taught that, right? But I knew that I didn't want them to be not stable. And so although I was mad about my daughter being killed, God gave me a second chance with raising my granddaughter.
Okay.
So the moments that I missed with raising my daughters, I got it 10 times, tenfold right now. Because she is a little, she's a little diva, right? And it's me and my daughter's fault. We both are at fault for her being the little diva that she is. But she's been such a blessing for me. In the loss of my daughter, I see her in my granddaughter. And so it gave me new inspiration. Okay. Right? Because I started doing supplements. I was like, I gotta be here. Yeah. I can't, I gotta be here. Right. Like, I can't leave her. Like, I gotta be here. So I started, my health became important. Yeah. Although it's always been important, but it became more of an importance for me about 2 years ago. Okay. Right. I was like, I can't leave this little girl. Yeah. Like, God has entrusted me and gave me another opportunity to raise this kid, and I'm gonna do it. Right. So I supplement. I'm on supplements. I walk. I run. I try to go. I can't go to the gym like I used to, but I want to get back in the gym. So he continues to give you new inspiration and drop little things in your spirit to show you that he's not done with you yet. Amen. Right? He still has some opportunities for you. He still has some dreams for you to carry out and some goals for you to crush, right? Right. So I remain hopeful that I'm here for it. Amen. I'm here for it. Yes. So, yeah. Yes. Yes, man. Yeah. This episode has really done something to my spirit, y'all. Man, okay. Francesca and Francesca. Wow. Okay. We got a lot in common. Yeah. Definitely a lot in common, man. Man, especially with the survival. And I told myself, I said, I'm out of survival mode, you know? Yeah. I'm gonna be thriving from here on out. Yeah. And you gotta speak to let's speak to survival, how that looks. Because I don't think a lot of people understand how survival mode looks. Okay. Right? So let's speak on that for a little bit. Okay. Because it doesn't look different. Mm-hmm. It's the same across the board, right? But I guess how do you think your survival mode, how did it reflect for you? Survival mode for me is to, like you say, always, for me it was men though. Yeah. I always connected myself with men that could up one for me in life, you know, to raise the bar up more. Okay. Like, and I had to get out of that. Okay. Like, if you wasn't doing enough for me, I would mess with you. Okay. And that's what survival mode looked like for me. Okay. You know? I could never fully give a man my heart. I could only give a man technically my body. Okay. And whatever I'm getting in, gone. Okay. Mm-hmm. So for survival mode for me, because I had children, looked a little different for me. Because I had to make sure they had food. Right. Right. So I had to make sure that I was always, lights got cut off. I got to figure out how to get these lights cut back on, right? So I was always changing light companies, right? Or I was always changing gas companies. Or I was always like trying to find the up, right? To get out of the situation that I had gotten myself into or that had happened, right? Just your actions become survival. Like I gotta fix it. I gotta get out of it. I gotta get out of it. All you could think about is getting out of it. Yeah. By any means necessary. Right? Say it again. Sex, drugs, finding that person a security blanket for you. Like whatever it is, the mentality is I've got to get out of it. Yeah. Right? I gotta get out of it. Yeah. And when you have that type of survival instinct, think about a lion in the jungle. When they gotta eat, right? And they don't care who they kill. Whatever animal in the path, whatever distance that they have to travel, right? They're in survival mode. They gotta eat. So for human instinct, it's the same concept. By any necessary. Yeah, but survival mode and human instincts, just like in an animal kingdom, like we still end up hurting people. Yes. Real bad. Absolutely. Real bad. I'm sure that my husband was hurt. My ex-husband was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm absolutely sure.
Yeah.
But for me, it was survival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and you don't, for me, I don't think I got out of that up until about, I had to shift my whole mindset though.
Yeah.
Because you have to want to, again, come out of that cycle. Because it's a cycle.
Yeah.
Right? And you see it, but you don't know how to get out of it.
Get out of it. Yeah.
Because again, survival mode says, I got to do this because I got to make sure that we got what we need. Right? And so that's why people in Fifth Ward don't want to come out of Fifth Ward. Survival. Right? This is comfortable.
And it's all I know.
It's all I know. Right? I get these food stamps. I can't let them take my food stamps from me, right?
All my Section 8.
All my Section 8.
Yeah.
Right? This is what I got. And they don't want to grow past survival mode.
Yeah.
And so once you discover that you are so much more, and you can do so much more once you stop imprisoning yourself.
That's good.
With survival shift.
Good.
There's a mindset shift for you, right? And that's important to come out of it. Growth is about mindset shifts, right? In any area of your life. If you want to, you cannot do the same thing and expect. They call it insanity, right?
Yeah.
So you can't do the same thing expecting the same type of results. You've got to want better. You gotta want better, but you gotta understand that there's going to be those twists and turns because it builds resilience.
Yeah.
It builds you have to persevere through it.
Yeah. And you can't get off the track.
You can't get off track. And when you get off track, understand that you got off track, why you got off track, and get back on.
Right.
And take God with you. Ooh. Do not leave him off. Do not leave without God.
Thank you.
I know some of y'all might not be spiritual. I get it.
Oh, yeah.
But do not leave without God.
Amen. Do not leave without God.
Don't leave him.
Man.
Don't leave him.
That's good. That's good, Francesca. Because we can't. Yeah. We cannot do nothing in our own power.
You cannot.
Nothing at all.
And you got to surrender that. You have to surrender to that understanding of I cannot do anything without him.
Right.
He's carried me my entire life.
Right.
My entire life. When I had nothing and nobody, he has protected me through it all. You know, and so it has made me the very person that I am today. And so I appreciate it, but I'm still growing.
Amen. But that's life, though. If you stop growing, you done.
You dead, huh?
You know, you might as well dig your own berries.
Right, you just dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, it's so. I'm telling you, like these episodes. I mean, they are so fulfilling to my spirit and my soul so much because it's like what I thought that wouldn't be able to surpass certain things at the beginning because I had some things to where it's like, oh God, people not supporting me, people not doing this. But as time keep going, God just showing me like, Francesca, just keep going.
Yep.
One episode at a time.
Yep.
This not only gonna help you heal in certain areas, it's going to help the audience heal. It's going to help the people that's coming on the show heal, and for people to be transparent. And that's the thing, right? People are looking for transparency. People are looking for situations and want to hear things this person is just like me. And if he survived or if she survived, I can too.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times people get on platforms and get on speaking panels and they want to get a pretend life. No, you got to give people the real life.
You got to give them the real life.
You got to give them the real life.
And that's why I said when I was in counseling, why it was important for me to go through counseling, because I can't, if I get in front of you as your counselor and I'm acting like my life is together.
Right.
How can I help? You gonna be like, well, how you helping me? Because you ain't been through what I've been through.
Right.
I can tell you, I done been through what you've been through and probably 100 times more than what you going through. Right. So people want to know that you have what has caused transformation for you.
Right.
What has delivered you? What are you doing that I need to do? Right? What are you doing that I can do? What worked for you?
Right.
Right? How can I find my way? Right? Because I'm at a point where I can't find my way. I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know a way out. But I've heard your story.
Right.
And I know now
I can.
that I can. There is a way out.
Yeah, it's definitely a way out. I remember I used to always, because I used to love rapping a lot, right? And I used to quote this rapper, and he got a song that say, I used to be a used to, but I never got used to being what I used to be.
Look at that.
And I used to sing that to the top of my lungs, right? And I was like, no, that they used to ain't me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I would not get used to being what I used to be.
You can't.
And I stood on that, right? And people not gonna like the new you, because they're gonna say you changed, you did, you.
Oh yes. Right? Oh, I got called bougie. I got called. I was Yeah.
But you know what? It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes it calls for a separation. And man, I just want to say thank you for coming on the show. But before we end, I want you to tell the people, like, how can they find you, because you are a speaker and you know you're a leader. And man, I'm just so glad you came on.
I am. I'm excited about being here. I'm excited about sharing my story as always. But I do thank you for even listening and hearing me. I hope that we both together, our stories today we've touched the life. Just one. If we can touch one.
I say only one.
Yeah, it just takes one, right? We just take that one. The next person sits in this seat will be talking about the fact that we talked about something that had them inspired to talk about their lives. Right?
Because people need to talk, Francesca. They just do.
Yeah.
Man, I can go on and on and on, like how like my life has been shaped around so much silence. Like even as a kid, it was some years ago, my sister had a birthday dinner, and even at the birthday dinner, people want to tell me like how odd I was and weird and all this stuff, because I could literally sit like dead silence for days at a time. No TV, no nothing. But not knowing like I was needing to get it out, you know? So I journal a lot, right?
Yeah, okay.
So I would journal before I speak, right? If somebody made me mad, I'll shut down. I'm just looking at like, but I'll go home and I'll be like, you know? So, man, I need this just as much as the people need this.
Yes. You know? And it's a way of healing. It really is a way of, if you don't want to go to therapy, fine. Therapy is hard.
No,
right?
I love therapy.
But when you first going, it's hard because you don't know what to do with all those emotions. It's so many. When I wrote the book with Miss Dearborn, I was a co-author of that book. Do you know how many emotions I felt just writing those few pages? It took me, what could have took, I'm an English teacher, right? I taught English in high school. When I was in high school, taught high school. I can write. I have no problem writing. But talking about things that have happened in your life and having to regenerate those emotions and those feelings associated with that, what could have taken me a day took me 2 or 3 weeks, because I had to get those feelings and those emotions together. And as I'm writing, I'm tearing. As I'm writing, I'm tearing, and I threw it away. As I'm tearing, I'm dealing with the emotions, right? But it ain't in a healthy way, right? And I already done it. Right, I already been in counseling, but a lot of people don't want to go to counseling. Listen to this.
Okay.
Because they don't want to deal with the feelings and the emotions. I don't want to relive or open up a wound that I thought
was
closed. Well, I'm here to tell you, it is not closed.
Okay.
And that little girl, she's still wounded. And you got to help her. You have got to help her. You got to reach back in and go get her and rescue. She's needing you to rescue her. Right? And that's the only way you're going to save yourself.
Right. I know, right?
Listen.
Man. So that was my segue. I was going to tell her leave y'all with something, so she left it with you, right? Man.
Listen. Do the work, y'all.
Okay.
Do the work and don't leave God behind.
That's good.
Make him a part of your path, your pursuit of. Make him a part of it.
Man, well, there's another one for the books. Francesca and Francesca, right?
Yes.
Man. I pray that you guys enjoyed this episode, man. It's so many people like you, like me, like us, right?
Yeah.
And so please continue to support this channel. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, y'all. You can DM me at story@Speak Unspoken TV on Instagram. You can email me at story@speakunspokentv.com. Like, in so many ways to reach out to me. I've been getting people to reach out to me, and I'm so grateful to God that people are willing to even talk about that story. I'm grateful to God that people are not afraid what someone else is going to think about them once they decide to share their story. So, man, I just thank you for tuning in again. And thank you again, Miss Francesca, or whatever. Yeah, she one of them ones. But y'all, until next time, speak unspoken. Peace.